What up, YouTube? What's happening? Welcome back to another episode of Curated Topics, brought to you by Curated Sense LLC. Alright, so this is going to be a semi-quick episode. I'm just going to talk about things that happened yesterday. We had our first week of the NFL. First Sunday. So we're going to talk about that. But first, let's do Candle of the Evening. Here we have got Espolon bottle. Looking nice. What scent we got in here today? This smells really good. This is a men's cologne scent. It's called Polo Red. So we got that. Polo Red, like I said, is a men's cologne scent. It's kind of spicy and woody. It blends citrus notes of red grapefruit and cranberry with some spicy elements like red saffron, amber, and redwood. This scent is modern, masculine, and adventurous. One of my favorite cologne scents, probably in my top 3 or 5 cologne scents. Love this scent. Love to wear this. It's very nice for when I'm going out in the nighttime, kind of in the cooler weather. Kind of gives me that warm aromas kind of feeling. People love it. I always get good compliments when I'm wearing that. I like to wear it kind of in the nighttime so that it doesn't evaporate quickly. Sometimes I feel like when you wear really a lot of cologne, but this one in particular, when you wear this in the daytime, sometimes the sunlight and the warmth kind of makes it evaporate a little bit quickly. I like the longer lasting cologne, so I use this one in the nighttime. Has me smelling good, feeling good, all that. But check it out. Check us out online at curatedsense.llc.com or on Instagram at curated_sense_LLC. Drop a comment, tell me what you think. What kind of cologne or perfume do you all like? Alright, we gonna move into talking about some football. So, like I said before, this was the first full Sunday of NFL football. We had the most disappointing game from the Browns. We played the Bengals on Sunday. Disappointing loss, man. Disappointing loss. We lost 17-16. I want to start off with the good stuff. I want to start off with the good stuff, the good stats, and then we'll talk about what happened in this game. We had Flacco off the couch. Had 290 yards and a passing touchdown. Myles Garrett on the defensive side. 2 huge sacks. I wanted to say he had like 5 tackles on the day. He had 2 huge sacks on Joe Burrow, and they were back to back. I was sitting in the bar watching, and I low-key called it. I was like, "Oh, it looks like he's about to get a sack right here." And sure enough, he didn't even do anything special on the offensive lineman. Like, he didn't do any special move. He did one little fake this way, fake that way, and walked right up in there, got right on up into Joe Burrow. Pause. That was a little crazy. Pause. And then the very next snap, you could see we had some momentum going. You could see that Myles was feeling it, and he got up in there for a second sack. It set us up for a comeback, and it was looking like Joe Flacco was firing on all cylinders. Like I said, 290 yards. He was throwing the ball. And then we got a good run going. We get a good drive going. We get down into scoring territory, and we leave it up to this kicker, man. I don't know who this guy is. From what I hear, he's a rookie. I don't even know his name. I don't even want to look it up because you let us down, man. You missed not just the field goal. I would have been okay-ish if it was just the field goal. But the drive before that, when we scored, you missed the extra point. So you missed the extra point to tie the game up for us. And we had a great drive down the field then to score the ball. And then you missed the field goal on the next drive? What are you doing? What are you doing? Now, that's not the only thing that was going wrong in this game for the Browns. And I'm going to get to that in a second, but I got to stick with this kicker for a minute, man. When I saw you miss the extra point, something just in my brain told me, oh, it's going downhill from here with the kicks, man. And I would have rather of us gone for it on 4th down, to be honest. We should have just went for it on 4th down. Maybe we could have got the touchdown then. because I knew after watching that extra point get missed, I'm like, I do not have faith in this guy. I do not see him. It's something about when you see a kicker miss, it's like watching a guy miss free throws or something like that. You're like, something's in his head. He is not. It wasn't like, oh, it got blocked or anything like that. No, he had the yips out there or something, and you could just tell it was about to be a long day for him. Oh, I wish we wouldn't have had to put the game into his hands, to be honest. I don't know if it was just a bad day. I don't know, but he missed, and there went our game. We had this game, and we just kind of gave it away. Now, the other thing, and I can't put it all off on him, but the other thing was we had 2 critical turnovers. We had momentum going our way, and we had 2 interceptions. Now, most of the time you'd be like, oh, well, how can you say Joe Flacco had a great game if he threw 2 interceptions? I think we need to change this stat around or something, because the actual interceptions came from fumbling passes. I'm not even going to call them drops, because he hitting his receiver in the chest. Dude got the arms around the ball, but not securing the ball and then launching it into the air, like throwing it up. Like, one of them looked like he just handed the ball off to the defender. What are you doing? If I'm that wide receiver coach, what are you doing? Is it the gloves? Should they stop wearing gloves? Should they go barehanded? Like, what is going on? This game, and this isn't even like a this game only sort of thing. I talked about in the last video, CeeDee Lamb had 4 drop passes in one game. What's going on with y'all, especially at the beginning of the season? That leads me to an even bigger question. What are y'all doing in these beginning of the seasons? Now, I understand, okay, well, they need to get back into the swing of things and stuff like that. This is what preseason is for. Why are these players not spending time out on the field in the preseason getting real game snaps? Especially when we ain't never heard of some of these players. You cannot just be dropping the ball like this, literally dropping the ball, and then you don't even drop it onto the ground. You drop it up into the air for the defense to get. Come on. This is the kind of game where everybody else was doing their job. Everybody else did what they were supposed to do. What are y'all doing? Wasting Myles Garrett's efforts, wasting Joe Flacco's efforts. 290 yards wasted because you don't want to catch the ball. What are you doing? Those 2 huge sacks. I'm talking about, it was electric in the stadium. All the Browns fans cheering, everything. Everywhere was electric. And then here you go, missing a field goal? A field goal? The extra point? Two missed field goals, and I believe both of them were under 25 yards? What? Come on now. Come on, man. You got to be better. And this is where I say, what's up with this preseason? I've heard some rumors coming around that some of the kickers don't even practice with the team. They go on their own side of the field or their own field. No, you need to this is what I'm talking about. Get them in some real live game situations. They need to be playing with the team. There have been too many missed kicks, too many ball hitting off the post. What is this? This is not the type of football that we deserve to watch as fans. It's not. Y'all get paid all this money to miss 25-yard field goals? Are you serious? What are y'all doing? And my last point, because I understand we got a young running back who's going through some things and he has to get his things figured out. But what's up with our run game? Our run game was awful. So now we forcing Joe Flacco to have to throw a whole bunch of passes. You had to be able to mix it up in football, and we were not able to do that either. Now, we didn't have any fumbles, so that was cool. But it's hard to watch a game where you've got guys who are really playing their hearts out and really producing for us just for something as small as a field goal or an extra point to be the reason that they lost. But that just goes to show you, this is the ultimate team sport. Everyone has to be on the same page. Everyone has to execute, and you have to execute when it matters. Hopefully we can do better next week. I don't know. I'm praying, I'm hoping. I hope we play better than what we did. I hope we don't leave things on the field like that. Like, we can't be missing these extra points. We can't be missing these chip shot field goals. I hope that the Browns spend the week working on that and we move forward from that. This needs to be our only warm-up game, or so to speak. This needs to stop. We need to get better. All right, let's talk about some of the other games that happened, because this was a good day for football. To be honest, this was a very good day for football. We had the Colts win. Shout out to Daniel Jones. He got the starting job out there, and it looks like he produced for them. Now, I didn't watch any of that game, but they won. They beat the Dolphins 33-8. I'm not going to talk about the other team that played the Jets, because I can't do it. The Jaguars beat the Panthers 26-10. Cardinals beat the Saints 20-13. Commanders beat the Giants like we thought they would 21-6. The Buccaneers and the Falcons game. Now, I saw the end of this game. I think they played at the same time as the Browns, but I saw the end of this game. Shout out Baker Mayfield. I didn't really like you all like that when you were in Cleveland. I got my reasons, but I'm not going to talk about that. But you played one heck of a game, sir. And so did Penix for the Falcons. So what I saw was Penix scored a touchdown on 4th down, put the Falcons up, and then I just watched Baker put on a 2-minute clinic of just marching down the field. And he did a good job rallying for that win. So shout out to him. Raiders beat the Patriots 20-13. 49ers beat the Seahawks 17-13. Broncos beat the Titans 20-12. The Packers beat the Lions. Now, this is actually kind of surprising, and this was a game that I wish I had watched. I don't know what time they played, but I went and was doing some other things. They might have been playing during the Browns game too. But this game, I actually thought the Lions would have pulled this game out. And the Packers showed that they made the right moves by picking up Micah Parsons. So they came out with that game, and who knows, this might be Jordan Love's breakout year. Time will tell, but the Packers are kind of interesting me a little bit. I might have to start tuning into some of their games. All right, the Rams beat the Texans 14-9. And then the game that I really want to talk about as well, because this game was a comeback. The other 1-point game, the Bills versus the Ravens. Now, I did see a little bit of this game, and wow, this game was good. At first, I'm thinking, okay, Baltimore ran away with this, and here come the Bills coming back thanks to Josh Allen. Josh Allen is out there looking like a man amongst boys. He put the team on his back. He said, we are not losing this game, and I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure that we don't. Now, once again, this is another story in terms of Baltimore's case, how little things can turn an entire game around. And this also shows why the NFL is one of the most important team sports. 3 minutes to go. In Baltimore, all they got to do is get a couple first downs, run the ball out. They hand the ball to Derrick Henry. He goes to stiff arm. The guy he goes to stiff arm strips the ball from him, and he fumbles. Buffalo recovers. Now, it's very rare that you see Derrick Henry fumble the ball. It's very rare that you see an unsuccessful stiff arm coming from Derrick Henry. It looked like he had the guy where he was going to, push him up off of him, pause. But the guy got his arm in there and knocked that ball loose. And it's those little things, man. The little things can really change a game around. And that's what you saw in this game. On top of Josh Allen just doing everything that he could to get his team to win. I mean, one of the passes that he threw for a touchdown to bring the game back into contention, he threw this ball. It looked like he threw the ball through everybody on Baltimore's defense. He threw this thing into like double or triple coverage. What a great pass, but also what a great catch by his receiver. Josh Allen went crazy in this game. I think he had almost 400 yards passing, something like that. He went crazy in this game. So I gotta applaud him and applaud those efforts. Let me look up. 394 yards. Crazy in this game. So good job, Josh Allen. And I want to use that story as kind of the motivational piece for today's episode. What you saw in this game for the Buffalo side, and in Josh Allen's case, you saw that as long as you got time on the clock, it's not too late to turn things around. Now, they were down for most of this game. You saw somebody go, you know what, we are down. The deck is stacked against us, but guess what? We're going to turn things around. And slowly but surely, as long as they had time on that clock, Josh Allen made sure that they turned it around. And that's what I want you all to take from this as well. As long as you got time on the clock of your life, you can turn yourself around and you can turn your life into being something successful. How do you do that? It takes three things. You got to lock in. You have to lock in. You got to be disciplined. You got to lock in. You got to do what you need to do in order to turn your life around. And by locking in, you will do what point number 2 is. You'll start to perfect your craft. Whatever it is that you do, you want to perfect your craft. You want to be 1% better each day. You want to be 1% better every time you go to practice. Your practice should be with the goal in mind to perfect your craft. You want to get better every time you do it, so that when the pressure does come on, and this is for point 3, when the pressure does come on, you're able to execute. Now, in the case of Baltimore, we didn't see that. The pressure was on. All they had to do was get a couple first downs, and they didn't do it. I hate to say it. In the case of the Browns, the pressure was on, and they were unable to execute. We got it all the way down to where we were in scoring position. Not once, but twice. The one time we actually did score, we thought we were about to tie the game up. All we needed was this chip shot kick from our kicker, and he was not able to execute. Now, part of that comes from being a rookie, being unseasoned in the game, but also part of that is being unprepared. He was not prepared. He was not ready to execute in the game the way he should have. And in our case, we were in a comeback situation, and it didn't work out because we were not able to execute. Executing is the most important part. Being prepared helps, but you have to be able to execute when the pressure is on. And that's what we saw from Josh Allen. That's not what we saw from Baltimore. That's not what we saw from the Browns. And in those two cases, they kind of gave the game away. You have to be prepared to execute when it matters, because you have to know that the other side is looking to score. They are just as thirsty to win as you are. You have to be able to execute when the pressure is on. All right, we're going to move on to some music. I am actually going back, doing kind of a throwback for the album of the week. The album of the week is once again by one of my favorite artists, Currency, but it is called Verde Terrace. Now, this it might be a mixtape, but I'm still putting it in there for album of the week. This came out in 2011. It was Currency and DJ Drama. This was one of the first Currency projects that I really sat down and listened to cover to cover. Now, what made me pick something from 2011? It just got re-released on Apple Music, and I was so excited because I was like, oh, finally, I've been waiting for them to put this out so I can listen to it. That's why I'm talking about it today, because I found out over the weekend and I was just listening to that. It helped me get up out of my Browns lost woes a little bit. Once again, this Currency, he just makes the driving music, the music you can chill to. And I had him playing on Sunday in between games that I watched. So y'all drop a comment. Y'all tell me how you all feel about it. If you haven't heard it, please go check it out. It is a good mixtape. It has some great features on it, like Dom Kennedy. And it actually introduced me to one of my other not as well known artists that I like, but he's in Currency's group called Young Roddy. And this mixtape introduced me to him. He also has a surprise feature on there, which is from one of my favorite songs, with Lil Wayne. A lot of people don't know this, but Currency was actually part of Cash Money with Wayne back when they started up under Birdman and them. And he since left and started doing his own thing, but I really like that he was able to keep his relationship with Wayne so that they could do those occasional songs together. And I'm not gonna lie, I kind of want them to do like a joint album or something like that. So if y'all ever hear this, Currency and Wayne, y'all should come out with a little joint album or something. I think that would be pretty cool. I think that would be dope. They both fit well on a track, on that type of smooth, like chill track together. And with them both being from New Orleans and all of that, I know they can make it work. So I'm just putting that out there. But some of my favorite songs off this project, the one is called The Job. Other is called Hennessy Beach, and that's featuring Dom Kennedy. And then the song featuring Wayne, which is the Smoke Something remix. I really like those songs. They're kind of different, but they all give the same kind of chill vibe. So y'all check them out. Let me know what y'all think. Well, that's it for today's episode. It was a little bit shorter. The last couple episodes I had, they've been kind of long, so I wanted to give y'all something just kind of shorter. And I'm going to come out with another episode, I think, during the week. I haven't picked out which day yet, but you all stay tuned. I want to say thank you to my listeners. I appreciate you all. I appreciate the feedback I've been receiving. And thank you to all my subscribers. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. We are building each other up over here. That's men, that's women, everybody. I want you all to be the best versions of yourself. And let's build each other up. All right. Well, like I always say, I'll catch y'all on the next one. Y'all have a good night.